Welcome back to the Meeple Marathon. Today we're going to be taking a look at Back to the Future Back in Time. I did a very brief unboxing of this not too long ago, and it is a cute, if not slightly difficult, cooperative game. I don't know 100% if I would call this a family game. Because the nuances of how to be successful would probably go over the top of most kids younger than teenage years. But this game, this could be a good thing or a bad thing. It's very easy to be the fall into the alpha player syndrome here. It's very easy for you to just tell the other players what to do and them just roll the dice out and accomplish the same goals. So if you're in a group where you worry about an alpha player taking over the game, then this game might not be the game for you. But if you are wanting to play this with a family and you don't mind kind of being an alpha player for your kids because your kids just want to participate, then this may be a really good game for you. But either way, before we get into the gameplay here, let me just go through what happens when we play. So at the beginning of every turn, we're going to be moving this orange marker along the time track. So we're actually going to start here for a two-player game. I'm going to be playing as Einstein and Doc Brown. And so whenever you move into a new section of the time track here, you look down for the symbols below it. So we can see here that right off the bat, we're going to be bringing out a level 1 trouble card. So I'm going to go ahead and do this now, to kind of start off the game, but to just also show you guys what needs to happen. So you start off, you draw your trouble card. It says this is going to go into the clock tower area, which is up here where Biff is. And then the effect that it has on everyone is that players' characters may not move into or through town square. Okay, this isn't the worst thing in the world. But all trouble cards, you can see, have negative effects on you as the players. Well, I'm assuming this does not kick us out of town square. It just means we cannot move into or through it, but this is where we're supposed to start. So to my knowledge, I think we just stay put. So what we do is we place this up at the clock tower here, up where Biff is. And if we want to address that, if we want to remove that negative effect from us, we're going to have to go up to the clock tower. We're going to have to do a skill check per se and get at least one either blue star symbol or any colored lightning bolt, which is wild. So let me just real quick get on my little soapbox and talk about something here. I really appreciate that they went about designing a little mini dice tower for the game that looks like the clock tower. I think that's a neat little gimmick. It's by far, it is not the best the best dice tower in the world. I don't know what they were thinking with the ramp. I feel like they could have designed that a lot better. But it also gets kind of annoying that anytime you have something in the clock tower area, you feel like the dice are either getting knocked by, like this token or something can get in the way, or you have to move the players out of the way. I really would have preferred them to have not made the clock tower space an actual space you could have gone into. They could have moved town square down and, just had that be an empty area up top there. Because it really is kind of annoying that things happen in that space, but that's also where the dice come out. So soapbox is going to be put away for now. Okay, so we have our trouble card out. That is a negative effect that we're going to have to deal with. You can see the level card or trouble level card is going to increase the further along in the game we get, and there's only ever going to be one. So if we just leave that one be, if we feel like it's not a problem, it'll just get replaced by the next one that comes out, and they're going to get increasingly worse for us. Then we're going to need to draw a movement card, which you can see movement happens every single turn. So I'm going to draw the bottom movement card here just as an example. And you can see that this one here says move George to George's house. Well, George is actually at George's house because he starts there, but say he was way over here in the school parking lot, he would just be moved directly to George's house. Now, a lot of times they'll say move Lorraine counterclockwise a certain number of spaces, move George I guess counterclockwise would be this way. Move George clockwise. so on and so forth. Sometimes it tells them to move directly to a space. You just basically follow the movement. Then at the bottom, not always, but a lot of times you're going to see a certain number of BIF heads, and these are just referred to as BIF symbols. Anytime you see a BIF symbol, whether it's on a movement card or anytime you roll dice and you get a BIF symbol. So keep that in mind. Anytime you see a BIF head, you're going to take BIF and you're going to move him towards whoever he is closest towards between George or Lorraine. So he doesn't care about you as player characters. He only cares about these two. He only cares about getting Lorraine to fall in love with him and beating up and bullying George. So he picks whoever is closest. So in this instance, it would be 1, 2, 3, 4 to George, 1, 2, 3 to Lorraine. This is all one big space. So he would go towards Lorraine, one space. These NPCs cannot enter town square. So effectively, gang wreaks havoc at the clock tower turns us into NPCs as well. So these guys are always going to be moving around the outside edge of the board. The town square in the middle here is usually for us to cut through. If, however, first of all, if there's ever a tie between George and Lorraine, between Biff, say Biff is right here, he's in between them, and he can make it to either 1 and 1, he always moves towards Lorraine. He always goes after the girl first. Now, if he happens to be already in the same space, or say there's multiple Biff heads, and he reaches the space of either Lorraine or George, and he has more Biff symbols to resolve, for every Biff symbol he doesn't need a movement for, he reduces the love track towards -4. It can never go below -4. Our objective is to get the love track up here into the heart level, and we start here at 0. So he is constantly keeping us from getting these two guys to fall in love. He really doesn't care. He doesn't even really know about the DeLorean, nor does he care yet. This is Back to the Future 1, not Back to the Future 2. So that is a movement card. And the only other symbol that we'll see here later on is a love meter check. That's where we look at our love meter with the picture inside of it. And as long as we are within 0 and 12, we have to flip over one piece of this 6 pieces of the picture. If that picture disappears on us, like in the movie, we lose the game. If we can get the love meter up into the heart area, we are safe during a love meter check. However, if it's in the negative area here, we actually have to flip over 2 pieces. Okay? So that is... every player's turn begins with moving one step closer to 10:04 p.m. on November 12th, 1955, and you do whatever actions are beneath you. It's always going to involve movement, and then it's either going to involve, it could possibly involve changing out the trouble card or checking the love meter. Once that is done, then it is your turn as the player to take whatever actions you would like to using your power tiles. Now these are these cardboard squares that we have on the board, and you can see that they are slightly different between the two players. Doc is green heavy, Einstein is yellow heavy. So the colors of the dice are very straightforward in what they are best at, but every die you can see has a lightning symbol on it. The lightning symbol on any color die is wild and can be wild for any other symbol. So if you are, for example, doing the move DeLorean action, which Einstein's very good at, and requires the yellow arrows, you could roll one of each color die and still get 1, 2, 3, 4 successes. You may not want to do that, but just because you don't have the right color die you need does not mean you are not going to be successful in your skill check. So let's just real quickly cover what the various color dice mean. Yellow and yellow arrows are to move the DeLorean. We need to, over the course of the game, move the DeLorean from the school parking lot down the street here, park it at Doc Brown's house. Then, if and when we have obtained the DeLorean parts, we then need to get it down the street and into this starting area here in one of these 3 spaces to be ready to go 88 miles per hour to hit this line at 10:04 when lightning strikes the clock tower. All right, so that's the orange dice. Orange dice are used to move the DeLorean or to get wild symbols. Blue stars are used to beat up Biff. Biff obviously is a huge deterrent in this game. Anytime you want to fight Biff, you're going to want to attempt to roll blue stars or any color lightning bolts. If you do so, you will knock Biff down. You can even add knockdown tokens to him. And basically, anytime he is knocked down or has knockdown tokens, he has to spend a Biff symbol to remove the tokens and stand back up before he can start moving again. So it's a way to like pause him and keep him from being a nemesis. The pink heart dice are used to help George and Lorraine fall in love. If and when you and George and Lorraine, so this is probably the most difficult test in the game, you have to get these two in the same space and as well as yourself. If all three of you are in the same space, rolling any number of hearts and or lightning bolts advances the love meter that many spaces. And again, the goal is to get it all the way up here. So raise it up at least 13, but you know Biff's going to lower it. So, and last but not least, the prepared DeLorean symbols, I call them the science symbols, are what you are going to need to go around and pick up the various parts of the DeLorean. Here you can see like the hook takes 3 symbols rolled, so you would need to roll something like that would get you there, or even that would get you there, or even this would get you there. So Doc is going to be focused on running around preparing the parts for the DeLorean. Remember, the DeLorean cannot move away from Doc's house until we have collected those 3 parts. Once you've collected them, you don't need to take any additional actions to actually attach them to the car. So, those are the 4 main skill checks that you're going to be doing throughout the game. Now, all of these tiles not only tell you how many and of what colored die you can roll. So if I wanted to roll 2 green dice, say for example I'm attempting the DeLorean part gasoline challenge, and I want to roll 2 green dice, I have to flip over or exhaust these 2 power tiles with green dice on them. Okay, then I get to roll these dice, hope for the best. All right. However, all of these, if you look at the bottom, say or move up to 3 spaces. So that's really how you move around the board. You decide which tiles you want to not use for dice, and you flip over any number of them to go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. You move around the board. As you are moving around the board, you can pick up and take with you Lorraine or George. You cannot take both of them at the same time, but you can escort either one of these guys as you move around. So if you were, say, right here and you want to go 3, you could go 1, pick up Lorraine, 2, 3, and then attempt a love challenge. That's probably how you're going to have to get these 2 together, because pretty much at the beginning of every turn, one or both of them is always going to move. And so you can't ever position them at the end of your turn and then say, all right, if that was Doc, all right, Einstein, you can go do a love test the next turn, because 75% of the time they're separating. They're going off and doing their own thing. So you can use these tiles to move, you can use these tiles to roll dice, and then throughout the game we'll be gaining additional upgraded power tiles that we'll add to our board here. And those will give us the opportunity to roll even more dice, possibly re-roll Biff symbols, possibly change symbols into wilds or single wilds into double wilds. We'll see those as they all come out. One quick note on rolling your dice, and I'll show you this obviously when I'm playing the game, but anytime you roll your dice, I'm just going to keep rolling here. Say this was my roll. I have to lock my Biff die off to the side, but I can choose to re-roll any dice that have basically a success symbol on them. Say for example I am looking for blue stars in this instance. Well, I have 1 blue star because of the lightning bolt, but these guys don't count as blue stars. So I may decide to re-roll these and I get another Biff symbol. Well, I can continue to re-roll this green one until I get another. I could even choose to re-roll this one. Got my blue star. I could attempt to re-roll to get double, but it's a push your luck element in the game that the more you roll, the more likely you are, or the more chances you have to roll Biff symbols, which are going to be locked once they're rolled, and you will have to address, just like we said, moving Biff around and reducing the love meter. The last thing, other than taking care of the 4 basic challenges and skill checks you need to do throughout the game, are to take on opportunity challenges. All right, so opportunity challenges, and there's always going to be 3 on the board, so I've gone ahead and drawn the first 3. So we're going to put one at George's house here. We're going to put another one at George's house. I don't like these covering everything up here. And the school parking lot. Okay, so let's just look at this one here as an example. This one says George's house. You have to basically be in this location. You have to do a skill check where you gain at least 1 yellow arrow, but any color lightning bolt will do. If you do, you get to draw a P tile and gain the binoculars item. Our item cards are a stack of cards over here that will give us basic benefits to use once per turn, but also a power tile is, we can add 3 more to our board here, and then after we have 8 total, we can replace weaker ones with better ones. So doing these opportunity challenges early on is truly how you have to be successful in this game, because it's going to increase the amount of actions you can take on your turn. It's also going to give you items which could make or break a roll here or there, things like that. So anytime you complete an opportunity challenge, you draw another one, so that there's always 3 positive things you can do on the board, but there's still skill checks. You still need to do a skill check. So for example, going parking here requires a yellow and a red. You may want to make sure you get there, and so you'll roll this. Well, you are successful, but you also rolled a Biff. So keep that in mind, that anytime you roll dice, it can have negative consequences because you roll a Biff symbol. The same thing, like I said earlier, goes for the trouble cards. They work just like the opportunity cards. You have to be in that area, roll the symbol, and then you get the reward. And in case of trouble, you don't replace them. If I get rid of this trouble card, it is not replaced until I reach the next trouble card space on the turn tracker. All right, so that covers everything. Again, the objective of the game for us is to, there's actually a lot of stuff we need to do. I'm kind of finicky about where my cards go. We need to get the DeLorean in position and get it equipped properly, and we need to get Lorraine and George to fall in love. So to do that, we need to obtain DeLorean parts skill checks, we need to do move DeLorean skill checks, and then we need to do fall in love skill checks. We're also going to need to do distract or knock down Biff skill checks, or else he's just going to wreak havoc on the game. One nice thing about the players in general is that they each have a special power, and Einstein here has the Bark Bark special ability, which means that if he is within 1 square of, or 1 space of Biff at the end of his turn, or once per turn, actually it doesn't have to be the end, he can bark at Biff and it'll scare Biff away 2 spaces. And Doc Brown here, at any point during his turn, he can take a free movement action to the DeLorean's space. So say for example he is way over here at Lorraine's house, he did a love action, but then he wants to do a move the DeLorean action. He can instantly jump over to where the DeLorean is and then do a move action. So I've never tried this combination in a 2-player game. I feel like this game is easier at the higher player counts, or is much more manageable. I feel like 3 is the prime player count in my opinion. So we're gonna check out and see how a 2-player game goes. In my opinion, in a 3-player game, one person focuses on distracting Biff, one person focuses on the DeLorean, picking out the parts and moving it, and the other one focuses on making these 2 fall in love. If you can focus on those 3 things, then you generally can be successful in the game. In a 2-player game, I gotta find a balance between, making these 2 fall in love, moving DeLorean, and distracting Biff. So we are going to go ahead and do a playthrough of the game, and we'll see how we can do with Doc Brown and Einstein. Okay, so we've already drawn our level 1 trouble card. just need to draw a movement card now. And so we are moving Lorraine counterclockwise 3 spaces. So 1, 2, 3, and then 1 Biff symbol. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So he's going to go this way. Remember, they do not use the town square, and we won't be able to use it either soon. All right, so I guess I really didn't decide who was going to go first. Not that it's that big of a deal the way they have it set up. Every player gets an equal turn. So what I think I'm going to do here is try and, because some of these opportunity cards require a certain person in the location. So in this instance, it requires George to be at George's house. So I'm going to come in here and try to think what we want to do here. Yeah, so I'm going to start with Doc. So Doc Brown is going to, we want to do this, and we want to have this. So I'm not going to need this. So I'm going to use that power token there, the yellow one, to move 3. And I'm going to go 1, 2, take Lorraine, and bring Lorraine with me. All right. Now I'm going to attempt this opportunity here. And I want to... Oh man, I do want to make sure I do this. So I'm going to go ahead and spend a blue and a green tile to roll these 2 dice through my clock tower here. All right, so I got 1 success, but I also got 1 biff. So essentially I get a power token. You got to have power. So when you gain these, you actually gain them face down. And if I gain ever more than 8, I just put it face down over here somewhere. And at the end of my turn, I get to decide which ones I want to keep. So this says I also gain the Sci-Fi magazine here. So the Sci-Fi magazine says I can exhaust this item to turn all science symbols into love symbols during 1 challenge roll, which is amazing for Doc Brown because he's got a lot of green dice, but this also comes in exhausted, so we'll put that there. But this has now been accomplished, and so I replace it with another opportunity challenge, and this one goes to Lorraine's house and needs Lorraine to be there. Okay. Either way, we need to resolve our 1 biff symbol. And the last thing I'm going to do is attempt to push up the love meter. So I'm going to go ahead and spend these 2 to roll a green and a pink. All right. So this is an instance where I'm going to go ahead and attempt to reroll. So I cannot reroll this one, which is unfortunate, but I want to get at least 1 success. So I'm going to reroll this one. All right, and I'm going to reroll it again. And I busted. So it didn't turn out so well for me, but all it does is bring Biff into their same space. So it's not the worst thing in the world, but probably during the movement phase, he's going to mess with us here. So I have exhausted all of my tiles, all of my items. At the end of my turn, I can flip over all this stuff. Now this is important because there's one thing I did not cover earlier in the how to play portion, and that was assisting. If you are in the same location as someone else, you can assist them by flipping over a tile of yours and giving them that die. Now the maximum number of die you can roll is what's available, so you can never roll more than 2 of one color and 8 technically dice total. But if Einstein comes into this space and Doc wants to assist him, if I say flip this over, then this power tile is not available for me when it comes my turn, because you don't refresh them until the end of your turn. So the question is, at the end of my turn, do I want to take the opportunity to move to where the DeLorean is, or do I want to stay here so I can assist Einstein? I think I'm going to stay here so I can assist Einstein. So I'm going to stay put. All right. So Einstein's turn. We're going to move this, which symbol says just 1 single movement card. So we need to move Lorraine to Lorraine's house, which is helpful, and one Biff symbol. Well, unfortunately, Biff is in the same location as George, so he's going to push this backwards. All right. Okay, but now it's Einstein's turn. So what does Einstein want to do? Einstein is within one space of Biff. So before he does anything else, we're going to use his Bark Bark special power and move Biff up to 2 spaces. 1, 2. I could move him either way, but essentially remember these NPCs always move in like a clockwise or counterclockwise direction or around the outside because they cannot go into the town square. So I barked him away because I was 1 space away. And now, instead of going here, I think what I'm going to do is, yeah, I want to get this. So I also feel like I don't need that. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. Yeah, let's do it this way. 1, come on, George. 2, 3. All right, and so I've got them both in the same place. I'm basically doing something very similar to what Doc Brown did. I'm going after this P token here, so I will do this and this one. All right, so that was a green and a blue. All right, and it's perfect. That's all we needed was 1 star, and we didn't get any Biff symbols. So we get to gain Lorraine's locket. Now this is actually an amazing item, and I'll show it to you in just a second here, but we also gain a power tile. So this means in the future I can turn these symbols into wilds, but again it comes in exhausted, and so does this, but this allows me to do a love challenge without having George at the location. So this is crucial. All right, but it also comes in exhausted, but that's fine. We've got them here. We are done with this. And so we need to draw a new one. And this one is Provoke Biff, South Shops. And so that's going to go in up here. All right. The last thing we're going to do is Love Challenge. So let's flip over both of these. And I'm not in the same location, so I cannot assist. All right, but that's about as good a roll as I could get right there. So this is going to go up 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we are done. Einstein gets to flip everything back over. They do list this as a tip in the instruction manual. Go after the opportunities early on to build up your power token bank, to get some items, and also to look ahead. So I know that, you know, very soon here I'm going to have to start looking at the picture. I want to stay out of that negative. So, all right, Doc Brown's turn. We need to draw a movement card. He's going to move George counterclockwise 3 spaces. Oh my gosh. Wait, 1, 2, 3. Okay. Whew. I thought that was putting him in Biff's space, which would have stunk. All right, so Biff moves into here, and then that's it. All right, so what does Doc want to do here? Doc could go ahead and complete this to get another P token. If he goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'd have to use 2 tiles just to get Lorraine and George into the same space. So maybe we not worry about that so much right now. So let's go ahead and just attempt this. I'm actually just going to attempt it with 1 single die here and hope we get lucky. And we did. So boom, we get the binoculars. So what is the binoculars going to give us? Okay. Once per turn, when you earn 1 P, exhaust this item to draw 2 tiles and keep 1, discard the other. But again, this comes in exhausted there. So we'll do that. So for right now, I just get 1, but that's another great token there. But this one also comes in exhausted. And we're done with this. So let's draw another opportunity card. Figure out where it is. Lou's Cafe, which is right here. Just draw 1 P tile. Okay, So, a little note, if you are struggling with this game, a very easy, again, this is a house rule, this is not stated in the rule book, but I don't see any reason why you couldn't play this way. It's your game. If you are finding this game difficult, play to where your items and your power tiles don't come in exhausted. Play to where you gain them instantly, and you can effectively extend your turn or use that item instantly, and it will drastically make the game easier. That way you can win a couple games and then go back to playing with the correct rules. So, okay. So at this point, I have lots of stuff I can get done here. Now, Einstein basically just kind of, his goal for the remainder of the game is going to be to stick around with Lorraine, bark away Biff. So what I want to do is kind of keep George away from Biff here. So let's do some stuff. I'm not going to need a heart challenge this turn. So Doc's going to go 1, and then he's going to go up here 2, and then he's going to go all the way up here 3. Yeah, I would just want George as far away from Biff as possible. All right. So now 1, 2, 1, 2. Biff's gonna go that way, but that's fine. Okay. So now I'm going to attempt this go parking, which it will increase my love meter. It'll give both of us a P tile. So I want to make sure I'm successful with this. I'm going to roll this. I'm going to spend this and this. Because I've got my sci-fi magazine, if I roll a science symbol, I will be able to be successful. So this, you guys can see I need a heart and an arrow. All right. So I effectively have my heart. No, what I have here is a wild, which I can spend and turn into the arrow. Then I have these two. I can exhaust my sci-fi magazine to turn these into 2 hearts. So I've effectively done go parking. I get to draw 2 P tiles here, and it says keep 1 and give the other to another player. So this is perfect. I am going to give Doc the move up to 6 spaces, comes in exhausted, and I'm going to give Einstein, who wants the hearts, that tile. So I'm pretty sure it comes in exhausted as well. We do have to resolve 1 Biff symbol, so Biff's going to come up here. All right. See these opportunity cards, they are key. Clock tower, manure truck. Okay, so we're just going to stack those on top of there like that. All right, so these need to be exhausted now. And I've got 2 things I can do. What do I want to do with them? Do I attempt to move the DeLorean? Do I run into Biff's space and then try and hit him? Yeah, let's do that. Why not? All right, so I'm going to spend this to move. All right, and then I'm going to spend this to roll 1 blue die, try and knock Biff out. All right, so I did knock Biff down, but that's all that happens. But that's good. And then I'm going to use my Great Scott power to move back up here to where the DeLorean is. Okay, I'm feeling really good about that turn. All right, so let's unexhaust everything. Now, to my knowledge, I can only assist with giving another player dice. I don't think I can give them like a move 6 spaces tile here. All right, so Einstein is now going to replace. Remember, there's only ever 1 trouble card out there, so this one's going to be replaced. And this one goes at Doc Brown's house. Gang, toilet paper is Doc's house. Players may not modify die rolls. So the only modification well, no, that's not true. I can modify with the sci-fi magazine, and I can modify with this. So that's not the end of the world, but it's still kind of annoying that it's there. So we'll put that right there at Doc's house. Okay, then we need to do a movement card. And move George to lose Cafe. This is actually pretty helpful here because it's going to get Lou away from Biff. And then there's 2 Biff symbols. So Biff actually stands up with one and then he uses the other one to move closer. Okay. All right. So what does Einstein want to do? Einstein is at Lorraine's location. So I think we're going to attempt a love challenge here. I cannot modify any dice rolls. Wish I had that tile here, but we're just going to do 1. And then, do I go for this? I could go for that. Gain the skateboard item. Okay, so if I'm going to go up here next, I'll use this since I can't modify dice to move. Once per turn if you are in one's within, you know, see he's too far away to bark him. But I'm going to want these 2, so I'll roll a pink and a green for my love challenge. And you know what? I forgot to move the love meter up too after completing that challenge. All right, so that's okay. I'm just going to stick with it. I'm not going to attempt to re-roll it. I can move the love meter up once, and this comes here. Now I'm still not within 1 of Biff, but what I am going to do is use this to move 3. I can go through town square now, but I can't take George there. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, and just drag George away from Biff. All right, I am now in this space, so I'm going to spend all 3 of these. I'm not going to bother flipping them over to attempt the Provoke Biff challenge here. All right, look at that, perfect. No Biffs, exactly what I needed. I get to draw a power tile, re-roll all Biffs. I love it. So that comes in exhausted, but I'm done anyways. Technically, I had to exhaust this as well. I get to gain this skateboard item. I don't think I've ever had this skateboard before. What is the skateboard? Exhaust this item to turn 1 Biff symbol into a blue star during a challenge roll. That's actually pretty handy. All right. I got my P tile, and I can move Biff to anywhere. So where is 1, 2, 3, 4? 1, 2, 3, 4. I think that's, yeah. Hill Valley High is about as far away from everybody as he can get. So, again, opportunity cards, ladies and gentlemen. All right, get some school clothes, North Shops. All right. Okay, so we can flip all this back over now. Okay, and Doc Brown has our first love connection check. We are in the 0 to 12, so we have to flip over 1 of these. I wish I could remember who disappeared first. Can't remember. I think Marty's the last one to disappear, and I know their heads, I think, disappear first, but anyways, so we did that, and then we do a movement card. Move George counterclockwise 2 spaces, so 1, 2, and 2 Biffs, so 1, 2. Okay. All right. So, Doc Brown needs to start moving this DeLorean. For that, we need yellow symbols. So we're going to flip over this and see how many we can get. Yep. All right, so that was 2 yellows and a pink. Okay. Not the best die roll in the world, but I'm okay with it. So this is going to go 1, 2, and Biff's going to go 1 here. Alright, so now I'm going to use my special power to move to the same location as the DeLorean, and I'm going to attempt to get the cable by rolling this one. So green and a pink. Alright. So I'm going to go for reroll. Oh, 2 Biff symbols. He's already here, so this goes back twice. That really stunk. So this is, some people could be really turned off by this because there is a lot of randomness to dice rolls. This game hinges on getting good dice rolls with your suboptimal clock dice tower here. So sometimes you can fail. So let's go again with just 1 green die. All right, and we got it. So we got our cables. These will go to Doc Brown's house. Now I could move up to 6 spaces and smack some people around, maybe. I could come down here and attempt to do the toilet paper Doc's house. I could use my sci-fi magazines. I got a lot of choices here. So let's use our move up to 6 spaces tile and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wait, 4, 5, 6. So I went. Lorraine may move, but it's fine. Okay, now I'm going to attempt to get the gasoline. So I need 2 greens. This is a little risky, but green and a blue. Ah, perfect. That equals 2 greens. So I got the gasoline. We are well on our way here. I've already used my special power. And I really just have this to do nothing with. This is kind of wasted, so I could use it to get back over to the DeLorean. Maybe we'll do that and try and move it again next turn. So, or to come up here. So yeah, I will use this to move and come up there. Okay. So Einstein's turn. He has a movement card. He needs to move Lorraine clockwise 3 spaces. So she's just straight running away. 1, 2, 3, and Biff moves in 1 there. Okay, so that wasn't so bad. Einstein. We want to get Biff away. So Einstein is within 1 of Biff, so we're going to bark him away 2. And then he honestly, we need to focus on the love meter. So I cannot modify, so I'm going to use this to move 3. 1, 2, 3. Yep. And we are in the same spot as Lorraine. So let's do a love challenge. So here's a blue and a pink and another pink. So I have to exhaust this. 2 pinks and a blue. Doc, you're in the way. And that's okay. So boom, boom, and 1 Biff. We got 1 Biff. Okay. All right, so I used that already. I could have re-rolled my 1 Biff, but 1 was not so bad. All right, then I'm going to spend this one. Yeah, my green to move here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 4. It seems like a waste, but I could do 1, 2, 3, and then take George. 1, 2, 3. But no, I want to be where the DeLorean is. 1, 2. Yeah, you can't go diagonally. All right, so we'll just move there, and then I'm gonna do 2 symbols here. All right, question is, do I want to reroll my Biff? Yeah, let's use that. Let's reroll this Biff. All right, so we moved the DeLorean twice. And now, what do I want to do with this last item here? Maybe try and get rid of this down the road. Or the manure truck's actually not a bad one because it just knocks Biff out. So I'll use that to move over here to the clock tower. All right, and then we can assist Doc Brown as well with this. Okay, so let's flip all these back over. All right, I'm a little concerned about how close Biff is here, and we get to replace our trouble card. So, gang disrupts traffic, town square. Instead of affecting George, Lorraine, and the love meter, each moves Biff 1 space toward the DeLorean. If Biff is at the DeLorean's location, each Biff moves the DeLorean back 1 spot. Poof. Okay. All right. Okay, so our love meter's safe for right now. We need a movement card. Move George counterclockwise 1 space. Well, that's good, because look at that. He moved there, and then Biff goes boom, boom. Okay, so Doc Brown, you need to do some rolling here. I want to roll you. Yeah, so green and a pink and a green. Now see, Einstein can offer the reroll all Biffs from his location. So what can we make use of? This one, because I want those symbols. So what was that, a blue? All right, so I'm not that worried about rolling a bunch of Biffs right now. And look at that. So Einstein will go ahead and assist with this and allow me to reroll all my Biffs. And much better. Okay, so we got our 3 successes that we need for the last part. So that comes down here. 1 Biff symbol is pushed that way, but that's all right. Doc still has a fairly good number of things he can do. So he now can go and use his special power to move into the same space as the DeLorean. And now he's going to spend a yellow and his yellow and pink to try and get it moving. Get it away from Biff. Ugh. Now that's just ugly. Okay. So unfortunately this only moves once, and then 2 Biffs is going to back it up twice. So one, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I could get there. All right. So I'm going to try and hit Biff now. So that was a blue and a green. All right. Perfect. Hit him once, give him a knockout token. All right. So he's dealt with a little bit now. I can move 6 spaces. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Put these 2 guys together. So I use this. And we'll just throw 1 pink die at them. and it was a freaking Biff symbol. I can't modify it anyway. Okay. So not the best turn in the world, but we're doing all right. Okay, so what do we need to do here? We need to check this, and so again, we're gonna flip you like that, and then we need to do a movement card. All right. Okay, so this is actually perfect because there's no Biff symbols. Move George counterclockwise, 1, 2. Move Lorraine clockwise, 1. All right, no Biff, so he stays knocked down. So, what can we do with Einstein here? Einstein is, now see, one of the things they say in the book is you can't kick a man while he's down, so I cannot re-knock down Biff. Unfortunately, being up here with the manure truck would not be good to make use of that now, so I can modify my dice though. So what do I not need? I want these two and this one, possibly this one, so I can't believe I'm spending that, but so use that to move, and now I can bark. To my knowledge, barking does not keep me from moving Biff. So, I mean, if he's knocked down, I think I can still move him. Somebody could prove me wrong with a clarification in the comment section, and I'm perfectly fine with that. So, I really want to get this. Actually, let's move the DeLorean. Let's just get it moving here. So I'm going to move over here instead. So 1, 2, and now let's spend these 2 yellows and a green to get this DeLorean moving. 2 yellows and a green. Come on, baby. And that was awful. That's just one movement. I think I will go ahead and use this skateboard item. It's going to allow me to turn one of these into a blue star. So effectively I've done that, which doesn't help me move the DeLorean, but that just means Biff just stands up. 1, 2, 3. And then, do I do a love challenge? I think I do. 1, 2, 3. So I'll use this to move 3, and then roll these 2 here. Yeah, I got nothing. Can't do love with it. And we do a Biff move. Ugh, that was not a good turn. Okay. All right, Einstein. All right, so at this point, I'm a little concerned about my DeLorean getting in the right spot. Okay, so let's push this over. We need to do a movement card, and Biff is right there, and it's a double Biff. Move George counterclockwise 1 space and double Biff backwards. All right. So, Doc Brown, you are going to teleport over here, and then we are going to do some stuff. We are going to move that DeLorean first. So we're going to spend 1, 2, 3, 4. This is risky, but all right, so 2 yellows and 2 greens. Come on, baby. Nothing but successes. Okay. It's not the worst thing in the world. Unfortunately, Einstein's over here, so this is a kind of a mute point. Do I want to re-roll this? Yes. Right now I'm moving it 1, 2, 3. I want to get it into here, so I'm going to risk it. All right, I'm not going to risk it anymore. 1, 2, 3. But then Biff moves it back 1. Ugh. All right. So let's spend this to move 6 spaces. I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4. No, I can't do that. Yeah, I'm just gonna move up here. Okay, and then I'm gonna attempt that challenge with a green, a pink, and a blue. Okay, perfect. I got everything I needed to knock him down, add 1 token to him, and draw 1 P. I can use my binoculars to draw 2. So I've got 2 greens. I don't really need greens anymore, so we will discard that, and we will put this over here. I will decide on that in a second. This is done. So another opportunity card, and Doc Brown's house gets this card now. That gets the video recorder item. And then what's the last thing I want to do here? I think just use this to move back over to here. All right, so what do I want to replace this with? I mean, obviously it doesn't matter, but let's do that. All right, so good. This is unexhausted, and things are gonna get a little tricky now. I need to get this DeLorean moving and my love meter going. Things were going so well. All right, so Einstein starts his turn with replacing this with a level 3 trouble card. This one says South Shops. Whenever Biff enters the DeLorean's location, move the DeLorean back 2 spaces. But, however, it does not say he goes towards the DeLorean. So this other one said his Biff symbols go towards the DeLorean. Now he's going to go back to messing with George and Lorraine. And now we need a movement card. Move Lorraine clockwise 2 spaces, 1, 2. Move George counterclockwise 1 space. Okay, so good. No Biff symbols. All right. So Einstein, what do we want to do here? Yeah, let's spend you to move 3. 1, 2, 3. All right. And I will bark you 1, 2. All right. Yeah. No. 1, 2. Put you away from the DeLorean. Okay. All right. Now I'm going to try and move this DeLorean by rolling 2 yellows and a green. Biff, get out of the way. All right, I'm okay with that. So the DeLorean gets to go 1, 2, 3. And is it worth re-rolling this? No, I'm gonna save it. All right, so this goes away from Biff, the 1 Biff symbol. So we're doing okay. Now I need to use this to go 1, 2, 3 to move into Lorraine's space, and I'm going to spend 2 pinks and a blue to do a love check, and I can re-roll all my Biffs, but I don't need to. All right, so yeah, that's 3 movement here. So we go up to 8. Now I've got this that does me nothing but helps me move somebody. So I can just use this to go 1, 2, 3 with Lorraine. All right. Okay. All right, things are going to get a little tricky now. So we are running out of time too. Doc Brown is got to check the love meter twice. We are still here, but there's checking it once. Here's checking it twice. So we do have to do this one more time. So I've got to get into this space in the next 2 turns, basically, or else I lose. All right. And now I have to do 2 movement cards. So Biff 1. That wasn't so bad. And good. Move George clockwise 2 spaces. 1, 2. And move Lorraine counterclockwise 1 space. That's actually perfect. They're getting closer together. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So, Doc, what do we need to do first here? Doc obviously needs to use his special power to move in with the DeLorean. Then he needs to move that DeLorean. So he's going to spend a yellow, and a blue. Okay. I'm all right with that. So that's 2 movement on the DeLorean, and Biff 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So he's gonna go 1 this direction. Okay. What does the video recorder get me if I go after it? The video recorder, after a failed trouble or opportunity challenge, exhausts this item to refresh all P tiles exhausted in that attempt. Okay. Right now that's not hurting me, so let's see here. What needs to happen? I can't even use all of these, so I'm going to do another move the DeLorean challenge. Spend this one and yeah, so 2 greens, a yellow, and a pink. Okay. So I can move the DeLorean twice. I pull it into here, and I believe I can then just pull it right back out. All it says is that it cannot move past the driveway space until you have all 3 items, which we've had these items sitting there waiting for us. Now I do, unfortunately, Biff's gonna go 1, 2, and that's gonna go 1, 2 because of this. Biff, you dirty cheat. Okay, so now I'm gonna use this, move up to 6 spaces and go, wait, where's George? Okay, George, I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so we're all hanging out in Lou's Cafe, and I'm gonna do a love challenge here with Einstein helping me out. So I can do 2 pinks and a green, but Einstein's gonna give me a green die because he can use this or this. Okay, so I am gonna go ahead because I don't want the DeLorean backing up, so I'm gonna re-roll my Biffs, and perfect. And we will go ahead and spend this. So this becomes this, and that's 4 on the love meter. Oh, we're 1 away. Oh my gosh. Okay. All right. but that's all I can do. Oh, actually, I did not need to spend this. I can spend my sci-fi magazine. So I exhausted it, and now I re-exhaust it. So that I turned that symbol into a heart. Okay, so Einstein starts his turn off by doing 2 movement cards. So let's see here. Move Lorraine to the north shops. That's a little annoying. And Biff twice. So boom, boom. So it says when he enters the DeLorean's location, he moved out of it. And another movement die. 1 Biff, which is just going to move that back 1. Okay. So that's not the end of the world. DeLorean, we need to get this DeLorean moving. Oh, gosh. Okay. So I am going to bark. I'm going to bark him to right there. Then I am going to move 3 spaces. Take George with me. Boom, boom. And then I'm going to move this DeLorean with this and this. So 2 yellows. All right, 1, 2, 3. So Biff goes to there. And we pull the DeLorean into there. Okay. And then, oh no, I am too far away to make this happen. All right, so I'm actually going to spend this to go 1, 2, 3. And then I'm going to go after Biff here. With a pink and a blue. And another pink. Yeah. Just go for all the marbles here. Oh my god, look at that. Holy cow. Okay, so what happens is I can use my skateboard to turn this into 1 hit. So I knock him down. That this is addressed. But then Biff stands back up with 1 die and uses this one to move into Lorraine's space. That was an awful, awful roll. Okay. Oh, man. This is not good, ladies and gentlemen. All right. So Einstein is going to get 1 more turn. Oh, jeez. Okay. Doc needs to start with level 3 trouble card. So this one gets replaced, and now we're dealing with school parking lot. Once per turn after resolving the movement cards, roll 2 heart dice. If you roll double Biff symbols, flip 1 McFly photo section face down. This roll may not be modified. Are you serious? All right. After resolving movement cards. Okay, so 2 movement cards now. Biff, Biff, of course. Boom, boom. And move Lorraine clockwise 1 space, which is a little helpful. But then Biff, and then Biff. So, all right, now I need to resolve. I did not get double Biffs. So, whew. Okay. I've got to do that, though. So that means Einstein's going to have to move the DeLorean. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. All right, so this is what Doc's going to start with here. It's not worth it. That's not worth it. So Doc's going to use his move 6 to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So then let's do, I'm going to roll U. So that's a roll, spend you, and you, and you. Man, I wish Einstein were in the same space as me. That'd be very helpful. Would it be worth it? It might, actually. So if I was here and went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If instead I went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I could then go 1, 2, 3. No. But if I went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I could then go 1, 2, 3. I mean, yeah. And then spend. Wait, okay. If I move into the DeLorean space first, let's reset everything here. Hold on. Hold on. Hold our horses here. Hold our horses here. Okay, so if I teleport to the DeLorean space, Einstein's gonna have to do all the moving of the DeLorean, I think. Or I could throw something at it real quick. Then I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Get back here to 6. Okay. So let's do this. Let's try a DeLorean move first. Oh, beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. So 1, 2, 3. Okay. Whew. All right, we may be able to do this. Now I'm going to spend my move 6. Take George with me. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then I have to spend one of these. We'll spend you to be able to go 1, 2, 3. All right. So now we're all in the same location. We're all with Einstein. Einstein can assist. Let's start here. So I'm going to roll. The whole point is to get this here before we have to do this twice. So I'm going to do a pink and green, a pink and yellow, and Einstein is going to offer up a green. Whew. All right, so we know what we're about to do. We're going to re-roll all our biffs. Okay, and I can exhaust my sci-fi magazine to turn this into a heart, essentially. And I can't do anything with this, but no biffs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Look at that, ladies and gentlemen. Look at that assisting of things. All right. So I could do this again. Yeah, I'm just going to go for it again, try and push it all the way. So a pink and a green. 1 biff, 1 heart. 1 heart, 1 biff. I'm okay with that. All right. So we have survived. That just means Einstein is going to have to get the DeLorean in position. He's got to survive this. So we look here. We are in the safe zone, so nothing happens. All right, we got to do 2 movement cards. Let's see what the damage is here. Move Lorraine counterclockwise 2. 1, 2. Move George clockwise 1. No! Oh, this could hurt. This could hurt. This could hurt. Crap. Move Lorraine clockwise 2 spaces. 1, 2. And biff to twice. Boom, boom. Oh my god. But we did the check first, then we did the movement. Okay. So Einstein here needs to roll 1. Doc's got this, so let's add in this. So 2 purples and a green. We are exhausting this. This has got to push us over the edge here. No, first thing I'm going to do is bark this Biff jerk that way. Okay, and perfect. I did my love. 1, 2, 3. We're at maximum. Okay, so all I need to do now is get this DeLorean 1, 2 spaces. So I can do this. I can do this. I don't have any more green dice to roll, so I'll use this to go 1, 2. And then we'll roll a yellow and a blue. Bam! 1, 2. And that's it, ladies and gentlemen. By the skin of our teeth, we were successful because I can essentially stop now. I don't need to roll dice. That would just risk Biff doing something. Ooh, I forgot to roll my 2. And look at that. I did roll 2 Biffs, but all that means is Marty flips over like that. Literally, by the skin of my teeth, I have the DeLorean in the bottom of the 3 positions. I have 1 space left. We are fully in love, though. As Doc starts his turn, we push here. The DeLorean travels up to 88 miles per hour as lightning strikes it, and we win the game. All right, so that was Back to the Future, Back in Time, ladies and gentlemen. That was a solo game, 2-handed solo game. I don't think you can play with just a single player. I think you would easily get overwhelmed. But playing 2-handed was super easy. It also means the assist action can come into play. So this game is beatable on standard difficulty. But if you are getting completely overwhelmed by Biff, try playing to where your power tiles don't come in exhausted or your items. But also use your special powers, focus on, certain things. Obviously, I got lucky with Lorraine's locket. That helped out a bunch. And my dice rolls were okay there. I got really lucky early on, but I got really nailed here near the end. So, but again, I really enjoyed this game. Keep an eye out for a full and honest review from me on this game coming in the near future. If you enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more videos like this in the future, please consider subscribing to the channel. Once again, thanks for watching. Have a great day.